What's up, African Superstar family? Hi, this is Gina Ifoe, the one and only African Superstar. I want to thank all you guys today for coming back again. Have a couple of announcements. First of all, I want to give a special shout out to the customers of the AfricanSuperstar.com. What's up, everybody who's been putting their orders in for the swimwear? Oh, yes. And fellas, when you see the playback, I want to inform you that there are now tank tops and shorts for the fellas on the website, as well as beach towels, flip-flops, and swimsuits, one pieces and bikinis. Okay, so please stop by and check out our collection exclusive for you. That's www.theafricansuperstar.com. Let me just give you a quick advert to check out our swimwear. I really love that commercial. So big shout outs again to the customers at AfricanSuperstar.com. A lot of you guys have already purchased your pieces. Also, I want to give a special shout out to Lady Visionary. She shared the swimsuit collection with her audience. So I want to give her a special shout out. And I also want to give a special shout out to Sharon Rogers. She sent me a quite generous donation. So I wanted to make sure that I acknowledged her and said thank you to her. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. What's up, Mike Joseph? I see Mike, he's the first in the chat room today. I want to talk about this topic now. Because I kind of want to talk about this topic today. So I'm gonna tell you guys what kind of happened that led up to this conversation. So many of you guys that are in America or in the UK, you know, if you're Black American or you're Black British, you don't know a lot about your origins. You may have had an encounter where you met an African migrant, okay? And in some cases, this African migrant is telling you, you know, that you don't know about your history, you don't know about your people, you know, you never been to Africa and blah, 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 blah. And they tell you, you know what, you should go to Africa. You know, someday you should learn about, you know, the continent and blah, blah, blah. So what I want to talk about, what I want to propose is, were they calling our bluff? Because when we see a lot of members of the diaspora that are going back to the continent, a lot of them are diasporas that have been born and raised abroad. So I had an encounter in my Instagram just yesterday with a Ghanaian person who lives in New York City. And so this Ghanaian person was telling me, you know, that he's trying to get things together and he wants to come home eventually and all this kind of stuff. And he's advising me this and he's advising me that. And I'm thinking to myself, I live in Ghana. Okay? I don't have any family here. Okay? I've had to create my networks here. You know, I was willing to pick up and move here and move my operation here and move my life here, whilst the African migrants, a lot of them are just still staying in the West. And they have a lot of opinions about what should go on here on the continent, but they're not willing to put their money where their mouth is. And so that's why tonight's topic is, were they calling our bluff? Because they were doing a lot of talking. Okay? They are still doing a lot of talking about what's happening here on the continent, but they're not willing to make that move. You see, when you want progress in life, you got to understand that there's associated risk with that. Okay? There's a sacrifice with that. You see? And you have to, you know, get into an opportunity when that opportunity is valid. Okay, 10 years from now, the opportunity is going to be different here on the continent than what it is today. Even 5 years from now, the opportunity here on the continent is going to be different than what it is today. Okay, it's a little thing called supply and demand. So right now, you know, you can still get in there because there's a lot of supply. You may be able to get in there at a reasonable price. You may be able to, you know, get your business started and blah, blah, blah. As these nations continue to develop and, you know, the demand goes higher and more people are traveling here and more people are moving here, so will the cost of living. So will the cost of land. So will, you know, starting businesses and all that stuff. You know, this message is to you guys, those African migrants out there in the diaspora. Are you ready? Because you got Black Americans, you got Black British, you got Black Germans, you know, Black Australians that's ready to move here. And meanwhile, you guys out there in America have all the excuses about why you're not ready to come to Africa. You also have a lot of opinions about what those of us that are here should be doing. Guess what? Huh? Put your money where your mouth is. Don't spend all your time telling me what to do, or telling Juliet what to do, or telling Eat, Love, Migrate what to do, or telling Lady Visionary what to do. What are you doing? You have all these great ideas, right? You were the one that promoted us to come in the first place, right? Shout outs to my viewers tonight. King Kenyatta, I see you there. What's up, brother? I'm the best. He says, I'm a first generation American born from African immigrants, but I agree with you. I'm tired of African migrants telling others what to do when they're not on the continent. You know, when we watch these live streams, a lot of times you will see, I mean, true enough, I know that there are data, you know, constraints here on the continent and, you know, network and all this stuff, but it's filled with members of the diaspora that are talking about what should be happening on the continent and trying to advise people that are there what they should do, when what they should do is get over here and do something. Big shout outs to I'm the best. Frank is with us. Big shout outs. What's up? What's up? And Mike Joseph. If you're here in the chat room, please don't be shy. What's up, family? Black Beauty. What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing, sweetie? You see, because that's the thing. We have a lot of people that are talking. Okay, there's a lot of people talking and there's not enough action happening to back it up. If you are an expert and you have so much expert knowledge about what should go on here on the continent, then come and contribute. Come and contribute your talent, your presence. Just you living here is a contribution to the world, you know, to the environment. You know, don't be in my inbox telling me what I should do. Don't do that. Okay? Because I've already managed to do what you are choosing not to do or haven't been able to do. Okay? I already live here in Ghana. You know, I'm the best is heading out to Ethiopia. You know, so you need to link up with those folks. I don't really know much about Ethiopia. I haven't been out there. But I know my good friend African Tiger spent a lot of time out in Ethiopia. She's probably somebody you can link up with, or, you know, get some information from her, or at least just review her videos in Ethiopia. Maybe that will provide you some links and some direction. But, you know, that's what this topic is about, essentially. This topic is about, don't call my bluff. You know, I have to give it to my fellow diasporans. We're ready to get it popping. We are ready to get it popping. We're ready to walk away from the West. We're ready to leave behind everything we know, our conveniences and everything to come here to the continent. We have the heart to do it. What's up with the African migrants? They want to hit you with the, oh, you don't know Ghana because you haven't been there for a while. Guess what? At least I'm here trying on the ground, huh? At least I'm here trying. You know, that's where it starts. Kira, thank you for the compliments. What's up, family? If you here, say hello to me in the chat so I can greet you. Yeah, you know, the bottom line, the moral of this story is you got to be ready to put your money where your mouth is. Okay, don't start running your mouth if you're not prepared to back it up. Okay, and for the people that are already persisting on, we don't need your advices. We don't need your advices. Okay, we're already here. We already did it. I can't tell you how many Ghanaian people, you know, my friends back in Ohio, back in the UK, they're like, wow, I can't believe you moved to Ghana. They just think it's just like the biggest thing in the world. And I'm thinking like, you have family here. You have friends here. You know the language. You think you can't survive here? What's up, sweet bad? I see you there. You can do whatever you want to do. If you put your mind to it, if you exercise SMP, you will certainly be able to do it. You will certainly be able to do it. I wish I had family lands here in Ghana. Okay? Some of you guys have family lands. If I have any Ghanaians watching me today and you have family lands, let me see a number one. Okay? Some of you guys have lands. I know I have a very, you know, a friend of mine back in the UK. She's from Sierra Leone. She told me her family has acres and acres and acres of land in Sierra Leone. And I'm thinking like, you know, you got to utilize what you have. If you have skills, okay, don't come to the continent moaning about the way things are. Try to create a path for yourself. Try to create a lane. Big shout outs. Crimson says, we are practicing SMP, making sure we are not emotionally motivated. We want to be pragmatic and put things in order and stratify the blueprint and make sure we have any loose ends covered. Big shout outs to Crimson. That is critical. That is critical, Crimson. And this message wouldn't be going out to you because you are exercising SMP, which means that you are positioning yourself to get here. I'm talking about the people that are comfortably living in Canada, comfortably living in the UK, comfortably living in America on their keyboards, okay? You know, if you ever go on to Wodamaya's show, big shout outs to my homie, Wodamaya, almost in the millionaire club, million subscriber club. When Wodamaya hosts a live stream, the majority, 90% of his callers are going to be people. Well, I'm a Kenyan who lives in Belgium. I'm a Ghanaian in the UK. I'm a Nigerian living in Canada. And they get on the show and they're talking and talking and talking. But we need you here on the ground. If you're doing what Crimson is doing, that's one thing. Okay? Because that's what your African superstar did. Okay? I had to pivot. I had to position. I had to get myself together to come down here. I didn't just come down here after one move. Okay, but some of you guys have been in the West for 20, 30, 40 years. You know, you actually have the resources to do something here on the continent, if so be. But you're still busy, you know? And then some people complain. They complain about America. They complain about the UK, but they're just still there. How exactly is that going to do anything for our continent? I mean, it might make you feel good that you're sending remittances, you know, that's important to contribute to your family if you're in a position. But, you know, there's a lot of intellectual capacity that can be utilized here on the continent. You know, it's your physical being, huh? It's your kids. You see, some of you guys have kids out there in the West, and you wonder why they don't want any association to the continent. Well, they've been born and raised in that environment, and that environment is teaching them not to have any interest in their homeland. You see, your children is a big part of your legacy. The fact that they're immersed in a foreign culture, it shouldn't be rocket science why they think and behave the way that they do. So the question is, were you calling our bluff? Because I personally have had that conversation with African migrants. You know, telling me this and telling me that, and oh, Gina, you don't know what you're talking about. And I remember when I first traveled to the continent, I went to South Africa first. So people were like, oh, you went to South Africa. That's not, you know, all the countries aren't like South Africa. South Africa's like the West. Okay, so then I traveled to other countries. Now I've been to 6, and they still got stuff to say. Them people are going to keep on talking no matter what. They're not about it. What's up, King Kenyatta? He says, in my opinion, all we need is like-minded diasporians to return and repatriate. Big shout out to you, brother. Yeah. What's up, Ingrid? Big shout outs to you. Black Beauty says, I was just in Sierra Leone, stayed an extra 3 weeks in an apartment. This job pulled me back, but we'll be heading back to Africa this summer to see other places. Is Ghana affordable? You know, it depends. I would say in terms of West Africa, Ghana is one of the most expensive, you know, West African countries. It's one of the most developed, and obviously it's the hot spot. It's the place to be. You know, prices, cost of living is going to be more expensive here in Accra, in the capital city. If you go beyond Accra, you know, the cost of living will definitely depreciate outside. You know, if you go to places like Eat, Love, Migrate, she lives in North. She lives in Tamale. It's, you know, from what I hear, it's much, you know, much less expensive than here in Ghana. You know, Takoradi's another big city, Volta region, Kumasi, you know, these kind of places are going to be less expensive than Accra, but I'm just keeping it real. Accra is kind of the place to be. And for diasporians, you know, that are used to Western lifestyle or certain amenities, you know, Accra may appeal to them more than being out rurally, especially if you're not familiar with how those in communities operate, you know. So my advice to you, Black Beauty, will be, you know, obviously come and take a visit. You know, I always say the same things all the time. Come and take a visit, and then you can decide, you know, what's ideal for you. You know, and things like that. You may get here and be like, wow, Ghana, I'm not really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But, you know, first things first, come for a visit, and then you can, you know, see the city. Maybe you can go to some of those other places, you know, visit, you know, Volta, visit Cape Coast, go to Kumasi. Those are places that are, you know, within a few hours of Accra, and kind of try to pinpoint what you want to do and things like that. So, yeah. What's up, Ingrid? The shout outs. What's up? What's up? Marquet says, no one wants to talk about how a lot of them just don't care. They don't think nationally. They just think about themselves. I hear the worst things about Africa from African immigrants in the West. You know, this is something that's been echoed over and over and over again. And quite frankly, you know, I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, the people that, in a lot of cases, the people that move to the continent, a lot of them are going to kind of be rogue. In respect that they don't mind being independent. They don't mind separating from the community. They don't mind leaving their families. So those are not going to really be the best representation of those nations. You know, obviously someone who's, for instance, in America, and they're meeting a Nigerian, they're meeting a Ghanaian, they're meeting a Kenyan, you know, to them, they're going to begin to see Africa through these individuals. But those people, a lot of times they're westernized, you know, because they're in that setting. And they kind of assimilate into the Western lifestyle, the capitalistic, you know, mindset and things like that. And you're absolutely right. A lot of them don't even want to go back to Africa. Okay, because they like being in a world where they can be on their own, where they don't have to be accountable. You know, for some people, the community is stifling. Okay, having to answer to family and stuff like that, having people knowing your business, and you know, they don't like it. So some people like being in America where they can do their own thing. See, the thing is that we have this saying here in Ghana, which is you don't think far. Okay, and basically people make decisions in real time, not thinking far. Okay, people that want to go and do their thing in America, they don't realize that their kids or grandkids are going to pay for being there. You know, that the breakdown of their family will begin to happen in the future generations, just as it has begun to happen to other foreigners, other immigrants, Black people, and all of that. You see, because there's always a cost involved. Big shout outs to Marquet with that point. Big shout outs to Michelle. She's traveling to Gambia. Safe travels, baby. Big shout outs to you. I mean, and I'm not surprised. Marquet says, I've been convincing African friends to go back. None of my African friends raised in the West have any desire to live in Africa. Absolutely. You know, just like many Black Americans have no desire. Because they're socialized not to. And quite frankly, a lot of Africans raised in the West, their parents estranged them from Africa. They don't want to teach them the language. They don't take them back to travel. You know, so those kids grow up more with the Western culture. You know, they want to be in England. They want to be in America. They don't, you know, and until that systematic racism hits you, huh? And don't we know our people are so stubborn? See, they got basically hardship got to come to them before they realized. You know, very few are proactive and says, you know what, because see, I'm a proactive person. That's why I'm a visionary. Okay. I see way ahead. I look forward. I don't always look back. Okay. So basically I'm looking at the whole dichotomy of the West and I'm realizing, guess what? My life is going to get consumed by being here. Okay. You know, even me as an individual, I'm this, I'm that, blah, blah, blah. You know, the environment is consuming. I need to do something else. Unfortunately, a lot of our people are not thinking that way. They're like, well, I'm doing okay. You know, Gina, you know, I live in a good part of town. You know, me, I'm a professional. Those things aren't going to happen to me. You know, and unfortunately, because they don't take a look at the aerial picture, you know, they will become victims. You know, Africans having children in the West, you know, when their children become very westernized and they begin to behave like Americans and they begin to have an American outlook or a British outlook, you know, it's shocking to them, but they're going to witness what comes with that. You see, because we like to segment ourselves, but in real life, you know, the African migrant child that's born in England is no different than the Black British child that's born in England. They're going to the same schools. They're listening to the same music. They're getting the same media exposure. You know, we want to tell ourselves, no, our kids are Africans. Huh? Our kids are from the Caribbean. They don't behave like those people. But in reality, yes, they do. Yes, they will. And they will absolutely have a Western outlook on the world, and they won't want to be associated with their homeland. Just like many people from the West, many, you know, Black people from the West do not want to be associated with Africa. What's up, Samson? I see you there, brother. What's up, Nana? Thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate the compliments. Yes, I was in the sun hardcore this week. What's today? Tuesday. Yes. I was in the sun Monday. Today's Tuesday. I was in the sun really hard Monday and Sunday. Yes, I went to the pool Sunday. So, you know, the sun just, it gets it popping. Like I said, do you see these tan lines? People keep asking me, I'm in Ghana. I'm like, bro, do you see this tan? Like, do you see this tan? Yes, I'm still in Ghana. Sweet Bad, thank you so much for that compliment, sweetheart. I agree with this statement. Marquez says it'll hit that second generation. Nana says most Africans here don't have the foresight to see quality life. And you know, this is a really good point. Nana, thank you so much. Moderators, what are y'all doing today? Anybody with a wrench is a moderator. I haven't seen one like count, and we are almost 30 minutes in. Okay, I'm going to open up these call lines when I see a like count. All right, so the light should be like at like 17. All right, so let me know what they are, and I'll open them up, and I can hear from you guys. But this is a really good point that Nana makes. Big shout outs to my Ghana folk. She says most Africans here don't have the foresight to see quality life. Now, I want to touch on this because for some people that are coming from the continent to the West, you know, the whole premise of them coming is to work and get money. And that's what a lot of their lives look like. Okay, no enjoyment, no traveling, you know, no substance, just like work, and send money back home, work, save money, you know, live a very frugal life, except it's a wedding or something you want to floss, you buy a new kente, whatever, you know. And this is real because unfortunately, some of the migrants, they don't take heed of the state of, for instance, like Black Americans or Black British or Black Canadians. You see, they see it as something separate, but basically your second generation is going to be much more aligned with that than how you are. Excuse me. So they don't see, you know, Nana, as we say here in Ghana, they don't think far. Okay, they can see about you know, their nose, you know, and they can't see ahead that this environment is going to consume them because there's no end to it. There's no end to the West. You can never, you know, get to the pinnacle and just chill. You got to constantly be in motion. And when something happens to you or you succumb, it's over. Excuse me, guys. Marquez says they think it's genetic or cultural, but it's the toxic Western environment and they just don't see it. Big shout outs. What's up? Big shout outs to Mr. Johnson. Good to see you, brother. Okay, so let's get the lights up so I can open up the call lines, okay? It says that we have 18 of you guys, so let's get 17 lights and I'll open up the call lines. Today, I'm talking about where Africans call in our bluff. Huh? We've been told we don't know Africa. We don't know our origins. We don't know our history and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, we as the diaspora are the ones that are making the moves. Huh? We're the ones willing to come over here and set up shop on the continent while the migrants watch us back there and say, wow, good job. Now you're in Ghana, Gina. It's amazing. How did you do that? You know, they talk about how they love their homelands, but they're not willing to be here. Huh? Still busy fraternizing with the Americans, still sending their kids to them private schools. Trust me, it's going to catch up. It will absolutely catch up, okay? Because that's the trick of the West. That's the trick of the West. Appear to have so much opportunity for you, you know, but there's a cost. There's an associated cost for that opportunity. So what I have to say is what I've been telling y'all for a long time. First of all, I don't need your advice. Okay, I love y'all and I love my Ghana folk. But yesterday I had somebody come in my inbox and try to tell me I have so much to learn and, you know, this and that and this and that about Ghana. And I'm like, yo, I live here in Ghana. You're in New York City. Okay. I figured out how to pivot out the West and come to the continent. And you, as an African migrant, don't want to utilize your networks and channels to be here. But I know when you come online, it makes you feel good to type that type, huh? And talk that talk and go on Woda Maya's channel and call into Dynas and give your, you know, educated analysis of, you know, the continent and politics. And you see, it's fun to do all that stuff. It's cool. But guess what? All that talking, huh? What is that talking going to do? Guys, that's my trivia question. All that talking that we do online, huh? All the hashtags. What is it going to do? How does it help the continent? How does it help the problems? It's not going to help. I mean, sometimes you see these live streams, you know, like I said, Woda Maya. His live stream is infamous. Whenever he has live streams, the African migrants of Europe and America be on his show. And they're constantly talking about what needs to happen in Africa. But they're living abroad. Talking about one day they're going to go home and one day they're going to do this and one day they're going to do that. But you got Black Americans born and raised, Black British born and raised, Black Germans born and raised, Aussies, Canadians. And they're like, yo, I can't live in America no more. I'm going back to the continent. I'm going back to a place, theoretically, that I don't even know. Because we want to, you know, let's be honest about some of the challenges that the diaspora faces when they come here to the continent. They're not familiar with this place. They're getting to know it for the first time, maybe in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They're willing to do that while the African migrants sit back and watch us. So the question is, were you calling our bluff? When you was talking all that talk about, oh, you don't know your origins, you know, you need to go to Africa. Was you serious about that? Because you're not even willing to back it up with your own action. I'm the best says, sadly, most of the negative stereotypes that generalize African continentals is mostly from African migrants living in the diaspora. It's true. You know, unfortunately, you know, a lot of them have been discouraging when it comes to coming back to the continent. You know, why are you going there? You know, this is, you know, I mean, I've had the conversation with some African migrants and they're just like, but this is your home, like this. And I'm thinking like, are you crazy? Like, do you see what's going on around us? You know, I don't know necessarily why. I can't speak from that perspective. I don't know why African migrants are not really taking in account what's happening to Black people in their environment. You know, they seem to have compartmentalized it, thinking that, you know, it's a Black American thing, or it's a Caribbean thing, or it's a Black British thing, and it's not going to, you know, bleed into their homes, and they're really shocked when it does. You know, do you know how many young African, you know, of African descent children have been stabbed and killed in London? I mean, primarily all this knife crime is Black people, you know, getting involved in it. You know, we know that Black males, for instance, are the #1 target of police brutality in America. How they feel that it's not going to impact them, I don't know. Because it's already, you know, taking the lives of several Africans living in America. All right, guys, what's up? All right, guys. What's up? Have you hit the like button so we can open up the call lines? Marquet says, I've seen more of African than every one of my African friends raised in the West. They're afraid of Africa. Well, you know, I mean, the thing is, they're basically Americans. You know, they are basically Americans. You know, they're born there. They get their education there. They get their media there. So they're going to believe it. And if their parents are not exposing them and their parents aren't taking them and promoting Africa, which a lot of African migrants that live in the West do not do, okay, because they like to be there, they want to live their life in the West too, and they feel that promoting their child to be as Western as possible is an asset. You know, so yeah, it's not surprising. You know, I mean, actually, a lot of African migrants I know, they haven't even traveled the continent. You know, so if you're meeting a Nigerian, you know, 9 times out of 10, he hasn't even been to other nations on the continent. You know, they travel from their home to the West, and that's how they travel. They're not travelers in terms of exploring and getting exposure. You know, they would be just as ignorant to someone in South Africa or Kenya as someone in America or UK, you know, because there's no exposure. What's up? What's up, guys? Please, may I have a like count, guys? I want to open the call lines, or maybe not. If y'all don't want me to open them, you know, we can do that too. I'm just trying to have a call-in show because it's been a minute. Watching the Hawk says they have place to retire and feel welcome, unlike the diasporans. That's why they're talking like that. Well, you know, the thing is that they don't think that they can get removed from their homeland because, you know, that's where their origins are from. But it's possible. You know, being African, there's, you know, it's not necessarily innate. And so what that means is if you're not getting exposure and things like that, you can become distant. Even if you know, you have an African name, blah, 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 whatever, you know, you eat jollof rice, you think that you feel so African. Actually, a lot of those people, when they come here, they begin to also feel estranged. You know, I ran into one of our family members yesterday from the UK, you know, and she told me that, you know, she has Ghanaian origins, but obviously she's brought up in the UK. And when she's here, people see her as, you know, a Black British, and she's got a very strong British accent. So, you know, everywhere she goes, it really stands out. This is what I'm talking about. You know, don't get it twisted thinking, oh yeah, because my roots are from there, I can just go. If you're a stranger, it's strange, period. It's something that you have to actively work towards if you want to have a connection here. Okay, guys, you guys aren't helping me out today. I don't know. I mean, let me see the like count. Please, Ingrid's doing her best, but let me see a like count. I want to see, are we at 17 yet? Cap Hushno says, we are in a new paradigm. Many people can feel it, but find it difficult to adjust their mindset. Well, almost doesn't count. This is true as well. Most older African migrants wouldn't even know how their country is different now being developed. Exactly, because some of them, they left and they've been gone, you know, a long time, and they don't really know how it is modern. You know, their guess is good as mine because they haven't been here in decades. All right, big shout out to the family. Thank you for being on code. And thank you to Solomon for doing the moderator work. Brother, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Okay, the link is there. I'm not going to delay. So if you have comments on this topic, please feel free to call in expeditiously. Otherwise, we will wrap it. Okay, because, you know. So I knew Nana was going to get in on this. Hi, Nana.
Oh my God.
I know you were going to get in on this. I knew it. I said, yeah, she going to call in on this topic.
Yeah, because anytime I hear your life, I have to run in because you are an example of what you preach, you know. Yeah, I have
Thank
chose
you.
nowadays to listen to people who preach and do what they are preaching, because it will be no use for you to sit here and talk about all these things while you are here. So anytime you are talking, I will leave what I'm doing and join. You see. Yeah,
Oh,
so
I love you, Nana.
I love you too, sister. One day I'll come to Ghana and look for you, because when I came,
I
I
can't
lost
even
your
wait.
contact. Yeah, I have more links to help you guys coming to Ghana, because I believe that anybody who wants help should be helped. You are trying to go to your own land, but you will face some challenges. Don't let those challenges stop you. So I hope everybody in the chat is doing well. And first of all, I will address this issue. We Africans, some of us travel and come here. We don't learn the history of African Americans. Until you learn
Mm,
it, then you know that, wow, these people have gone through a lot. I'm telling you, it's not every African who knows the story of African American, the history. I
mm.
was lucky to take history in college. When I came here, I took my time to learn, regardless of my accent. I took time to learn the history from college. Then I went to
That's why
university.
you're so smart, Nana.
Thank you. I want to be more to help my people. So most of us don't know what the African Americans went through. And so whenever
Mm,
I see somebody who is at work anywhere in the community, they are trying to divert or look down upon themselves, I tell them, nah, you people have gone through a lot of you know, changes. It's more like a rock, which the rain has
mm,
fell on it several times. You go through a lot of things, environmental changes, challenges, and things. Sometimes the lack of knowledge is not because of your doing, it's because of the challenges you people have faced. When I say you people, I mean those who have lived here. I am from Ghana,
yeah.
and when I came here, I'm still learning. So some of the African migrants don't know what the history of the people here, until they
Mm,
are faced with some of the challenges, then they say, who are these people? And they are now racist towards us and this and that. Also, on the other hand, we try to accept any way they treat us here. Me, if you treat me anyhow, I'm going to tell you where I am from, you know, unfortunately, I wanted to come here and learn. That is why I came here. But it doesn't mean I am a stupid or ignorant somebody. So you
mm,
have to treat me well, because Africa, unless you don't know Ghana, go to YouTube and learn what Ghana has. We speak English, even even British English. It doesn't mean we are ignorant. Don't treat me inferior because of my skin color. So if anybody hates me most here, is because I will not let low esteem kill me. I won't do that. I'm always
mm.
conscious of how people treat me. So self-love first, and I like your mission statement. S&P, strategy, maturity, and patience. Don't
Yes, baby.
forget yourself. Remember where you are coming from. Most Africans don't know who they are. They confuse the word, being in abroad to be superior. Because back home, we
Mm,
lie to them that, oh, outside we have everything. So when you are in abroad, you are superior. Some people don't want to go back because they feel like even struggling here, it means they are superior. So they
yes.
will prefer to sleep on the street, sell all their assets, and keep on dressing and showing off fake life to the people at home. I'm telling you. So the people here, don't worry. If you want to go to Africa, go. Don't listen to anybody. We are all different. We are all different. Even twins are different. If somebody tell you they are not going, don't worry. Some Africans will tell you we are not going, but in the end, they will dodge and go and enjoy the sweat of some of you people. Don't believe
Mm,
everybody. It's not every African you have to believe, even from telling about the African story, because some people will maneuver quietly and go and enjoy. There are people who are doing things in the motherland, but they are not telling you the truth. I'm telling you. So if you want to go for your
mm.
quality of life, go for gold. Don't worry, wait for anybody. The train will not wait for you once and gone. Please keep going. Remember yourself. Even if you face challenges, remember that at least peace of mind matters to you. That is why you chose to go. So if somebody is
Mm.
not going, don't worry. Remember your mission patiently. Remember why you are going. When you go, be an anthropologist. Learn from people and know that some of the Africans, I'm telling you, those who don't see any value in themselves will never like to go back to Africa, because they think, oh, when I go, what am I going to do there? They will say, oh, I'm not living the quality of life. You know, in Africa, most of it, quality of life is equals to living in America, UK, this and that and that. But
Right.
if I tell you, I'm now doing my master's, and I feel like once I'm done, I have my plan. You know, I'm coming, even if I have to be immigration lawyer in Ghana and defend my people, I will do. So it's not everybody who would have time and even come to this live and give their opinion. You know, they will sit back and say, oh, our leaders are a cake. They don't think, they are not white. But
that's the number one excuse of all time. Our leaders is the number one excuse of all time.
Yes. But you cannot even manage your own life. You know, leadership is about managing a whole country. But even your small life, you cannot manage it, and you are blaming a leader. Please do yourself that service. Go for your peace of mind. Even if you go and fail, you have learned something, you know. So thank you for everybody, and I will always join your life whenever you are there. Thank you, and I hope to talk to you. Thank you.
Yo. Thank you, Nana. She's always so lively. That's my Ghanaian sister. My Ghanaian sister, Nana, dropping jewels. But, you know, she made a lot of really good points. And I would like to highlight the one where she told the diaspora, you know, go for it. You know, if you feel like you can do something, you know, you feel like the continent is for you, and maybe you run into people that are discouraging you, so what? You know, I tell you guys all the time, people have been talking, they've been talking stuff for years, you know, about how I wasn't going to make it. I wasn't going to be able to survive. I was going to have to move back to the US. I'm not going to like Ghana. I'm not going to like Africa. And all I have to say is track record. You know, and quite frankly, I mean, Nana touched on so many things in her statement. But, you know, another perspective is that, you know, some diasporans know that we will be able to make a really good life here, you know, and because of their predicaments, because of their situations, they know maybe they cannot go back to their homeland. Maybe they're not situated. Some people have immigration problems, you know, and all kind of things like that. So, you know, let's think about if there was a huge, you know, treasure chest around the corner, okay? And, you know, you're telling your friends, hey, I'm about to go look for this treasure chest. And, you know, your friends got a broken ankle. They can't walk. Or your friend is blind. They can't see. They're going to be like, hey, Kira, why are you going to try to go look for that treasure chest? We just all need to stay here together. You see, whatever your reality can potentially be here on the continent, it may not be somebody else's reality. You know, the truth is, I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be callous if this pertains to any of you, but there's rich and poor people all around the world. Okay, there's homeless people all around the world. There's drug addicts. There's people that have had mishaps all around the world. Okay, you can't necessarily let all that, the reality and the existence of people's failures or people's circumstances, prohibit what you want to do. You know, I've come here and I love my life here in Ghana. You know, there are other people that have come here that weren't able to hack it and had to go back. You know, do not allow someone else, especially when you know your own capabilities. Okay, you know for a fact that you can carve out a path here on the continent. You know, maybe you've been a few times or whatever, or you're just really motivated to do something, or you're someone who performs all the time. You know, you're someone who always delivers, even when other people fail. Then go on and roll the dice and come on here to the continent. You know, it's not for everybody, but maybe you have decided it's for you. You know, and also if you are a very self-aware Black person, big shout outs to those of you in the chat. You can't live a suppressed life. Okay. And living in the West, that's what it's going to require you to do. You're not going to be able to realize your biggest potentials. You know, for people like us, we can't, you know, we rather die on our feet than live on our knees. You know what I'm saying? We rather take the chances. We rather roll the dice and see what's out there than just live the mundane life. Big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Hey guys, if you are here today, don't be shy. The call lines are open. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up. Okay. You know, so I'm talking about, you know, basically this is a call to action. You know, what's up, Joseph King? Thank you, brother. Good to see you again in the chats. Look at Mr. King smiling big. I see you there, brother. Thank you so much for calling. Checking in with me. So basically, this is a call to action to our African migrant, you know, brothers and sisters that have a lot of insight and they're living in the West. You know, I give big props for instance, to my sister AUF. You know what I mean? She was a Nigerian living abroad. And you know what? She gathered her situation, gathered herself, and went back to the continent. Because what we have is a lot of people doing all the talking and doing no walking. You know, they get online and they like to just rehash the same topics. And my mode of action is let's solve some problems, guys. Let's put our heads together and start doing something, guys. You know, must we be the perpetual victim all the time? You know, are you ready for change? That's the real thing. So big shout out to the African Superstar family. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Also, I want to give, again, special shout outs to Lady Visionary. She shared our new swimwear collection with her audience. So big shout outs to her. I appreciate that. Also, big shout outs to Sharon Rogers for the generous Cash App donation that she sent to the African Superstar family. I really appreciate it. Guys, you got 3 weeks to get your Our Superstar videos in, okay? The cash prize is going to the person with the video with the most views on June 26th, which is my birthday. So you got like 20 days. So if you still are preparing your Our Superstar video, please, please, please get that to me. You can email it to me. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen, africansuperstar@gmail.com. You can send it through Facebook, Instagram, or if you have my WhatsApp number, you can send it that way. I'll post the video up, and the person with the most views on their Our Superstar video wins $100. And also their choice of an African Superstar backpack, drawstring, or fanny, okay? So this is an example of my drawstring. This is my gym bag. Any of you guys have me on Instagram, I always have my bag with me at the gym. So yes, that is from the africansuperstar.com. Any of you guys otherwise want to just go shop, get yourself some swimwear, head on over to www.theafricansuperstar.com. Okay, guys, it's been fun. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for the live stream. Big shout out to Kimmy, all the way from Kenya. You know, I do ship worldwide. So if you like my swimsuits, I ship all around the world. You can place an order on the africansuperstar.com. We even ship here to the continent. I placed my order to Ghana last week, and we also had 2 other orders placed to Ghana last week, and we had an order received last month here in Ghana. So stop by the website and get yourself one. So big shout outs to the African Superstar family. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.